So what are you expecting? Optimists tend to expect the best, where pessimists tend to expect the worst. But what are the influences that cause us to expect better or worse results than others? An elementary school teacher in Chicagoland learned an important lesson about expectations. Every year when she got her class roster, each child's IQ would be listed beside their name. Using this information, she could structure the lesson assignments, giving the brighter students things that were more challenging and the other students things that were more suited to their abilities. And this way, she thought, every student would progress as well as possible. Her husband was transferred and she moved with him to New York and took a job teaching elementary school up there. The new class roster was handed to her, and beside each child's name was the familiar number. So she made her lesson plans accordingly. Near the end of the school term, the school counselor administered an achievement test. The students took the test every year, and the previous year's results were included in the report sent to the teacher. So she had 2 years, last year and this year. She was surprised to learn that some of her slower students were achieving at a much higher level than they ever had. She was even more surprised to learn that some of her brighter students were scoring lower than they ever had. A closer inspection revealed that the number beside each child's name was their locker number, not their IQ. Each child had performed to the teacher's expectations. Have you ever met someone and because of some descriptor about them, you expected less from them or more from them? Maybe because of their education, maybe because of their background. Everyone has their own strengths and weaknesses. It's not until we get to know the individual that we can determine their real potential. We set expectations for ourselves. We set expectations for the people that we influence. What expectations have you set? Solomon, the wisest man who ever lived, said in Proverbs 10:28, "The hope of the righteous will be gladness, but the expectation of the wicked will perish." It's kind of harsh thinking that someone who's a pessimist is wicked, but there's a difference in having optimistic thoughts and pessimistic thoughts. So what expectations do you have of yourself and other people? An old man was sitting at the gate of the city when a stranger approached and asked, "Tell me, old man, how will I find the people in this city?" The old man thought for a moment and said, "Well, I don't know. How were they where you came from?" The visitor said, "Well, they're the biggest bunch of thieves you'd ever want to meet. They'll steal the shirt right off your back." And the old man said, "You'll find them the same way here." A short time later, another stranger approached and asked the same question, "How will I find the people here?" And again, the old man thought for a moment and said, "Well, I don't know. How were they where you came from?" The visitor said, "Nicest people you would ever want to meet. They'll give you the shirt right off their back." "You'll find them the same way here," the old man said. Typically, we find what we are looking for. Teach others. For more ideas, insights, and training, go to www.chuckreaves.com, and for training, go to chuckreaves.online. Just remember we spell the name Reaves, R-E-A-V-E-S.